Okay guys, how's it going? Back Preview Spice here. I've been getting a lot of questions over the past few couple days, and wow, that's a lot of questions. And I thought it would be cool if maybe we answer all those questions more in depth than I could leave in a single comment to the people who asked them, whether it's inbox question or Twitter question or YouTube comment, whatever. I get a lot of questions, so I was like, let's answer them, whatever. Okay, so this is gonna be very nonchalantly. I'm tired. It's 4 in the morning, and I was like, hey, I wanted to do this before the day was done, so I'm gonna do it. Right? Okay, so don't worry, I had a cup of Coca-Cola, so we got some sugar. But I gotta do this before sugar runs out. Okay, first question is, one guy asked, well, how do you feel about Lei Wulong, your opinion on him, and what would you like to see, different about him? Also, part of that question is, have you heard anything about Tekken 7, or any new kind of Tekken in development? Okay, first, I think Lei is really, really cheap. I think he's one of the best characters in the game. To be honest, I don't think he's top 10, but I think he's number 13 or 12 or something, because Lei has never been this good ever since Tekken Tag 1, because in Tekken Tag 1 his haha step was really, really strong. It was a really, it was better than a Korean backdash. And in Tekken Tag 1, Lei's Razor Rush, if it counter hit, did half your HP, where this game does 1/4. I guess you could say 1/4 of your HP. Actually, it's not even the 1/4, maybe 1/5. Yeah, 1/5's probably a better. What do you call those? Decimals? No, I forget what they're. Fractions. There you go, fractions. That's something I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think because he has some really, really great unseeable. I mean, he has a lot of unseeable attacks. Down 4, and then all these stance pokes, and then he's got Razor Rush, which Razor Rush is a completely safe move that is really, really cheap because it's counter hit, great, a lot of damage, and a stance mix up, or it's no, and it's a 50-50, and it has a lot, and it's delayable, and it's a lot of range. It's hard to sidestep. It's a really good move in general. And then Lei's got 4-4-3 with Punisher, and then he's got good I mean, his downside, I feel, is that Lei's a lot of his moves, really, really good moves, come from stances. And then sometimes he needs time to set up those stances, and if he can't set them up, he's at a disadvantage. But at the same time, he doesn't need them, because he's got he's got Razor Rush, and he's got down 4, he's got 4-4-3, he's got his haha step forcing whiffs with haha step, and he's got he got a hell sweep down back 4-4. It doesn't do a lot of damage though, I guess because it's pretty good range. I see, that's the thing. I guess his lows are also kind of weak, but that's not saying a lot, because his lows are really hard to see, 4-4, down 4, or even down 3 is kind of hard to see in my opinion. And they don't do a lot of damage, but they're really good low pokes because they're really unseeable. And down 4 is one of those generic, really good lows that has good range, so you can hit that at the start of the round, and then opponent can't do anything. You can play keep away. So I think Lei has it all. He's got 50 frame launcher. He's got he's got good range punishers. He's got a really good whiff punisher. He's got one of the highest solo damage combos in the game with the 4-3 1+2 2. 4 back 4 back 4-4, then 4-4-3-4. That's 80 damage off every launcher. He gets at least 80 after every launcher, except for I think counter hit get up 3. And he's got 50-50. He's got tons of 50-50s, tons of mix-ups. I think he's a really, really good character. It's just his punishers are really bad too, but I mean his strengths really outweigh his weaknesses, in my opinion. He's really good. He does lack some gap closing moves though, I gotta say. But I mean, that's It's like a lot of characters. It lack a lot of good gap closing moves. So I spent like 4 minutes talking about this already. So yeah, like let's just say like Lei's really good. You know, I think Lei is really good. And if I were to see something different about him, I'd like to see him have better punishers, because he like literally has nothing from 10 to 10 to 14. He has nothing except the really hard Punisher 4 neutral full 1-2. He has nothing, which is kind of disappointing. And maybe just like more damage and stuff. I mean, the thing is like if you're thinking about balance, then you can't really add anything to Lei because he's really good. So like I guess make Drunken Stance more useful outside of the wall, because like, a lot of its moves are slow. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Don't really have anything to say. Like, just wanted to say about it. I like him how he is, I guess. I don't know what else I'd change. Really, oh maybe make it so you can block in Panther, because that's really annoying that you can't block in Panther. Or make it so you can low block in stances. But see, that's like making him really good. You know, like he's already really good. Like how much more good can you make him without making him like stupid? But yeah, that's what I think about Lei. You know, he's really, I like him, and I like how he is right now, and I think he's really good. He's just, if not a bit slow and like low damage rolls, he's kind of slow. You know, like a little bit. Like a lot of his good moves are really kind of slow, or in stances, whatever. Second part of the question, no, I'm not like friends with like Harada-sama, or anything like that. I follow him on Twitter, but I haven't heard anything about Tekken 7, or I heard that they were talking, they were in talks a lot with Tekken X Street Fighter, which is the other version of SFXT, but instead of a crossover game with Street Fighter mechanics, it's going to be a crossover game with Tekken mechanics. And well, I think the reason why that game has not come out yet is because, or like we haven't heard more about it, is because it sounds like a really hard concept. Because if you think about how in-depth a lot of Tekken characters are, like average characters have like 90 moves or something, right? So you gotta give all the Street Fighter characters at least 90 moves. Like think about like who could like, and not everyone like would play the same, because you gotta have like a unique playstyle for every character. And you can't just copy paste their playstyle from Street Fighter, because sometimes like it wouldn't work, I guess. And you think about like Street Fighter characters don't have a lot of moves. They have like what, like 10 moves maximum. And so it's like it's gonna be difficult for them to think of a lot of things, because they gotta make up a lot of stuff for Street Fighter characters for them to meet the standards of Tekken. Then you gotta figure out like, oh, projectiles, or like what about Dhalsim, like super long arms, or you know, stuff like that. It's there's a lot of stuff they have to trial and error. Also, I also think it's because Namco is in a tight spot when it comes to money, because well, if you may not know, fighting games over the past years have been in decline. They used to be really popular back in the day, but now it's becoming more and more of a closed, more specific niche. Yeah, that's a good term. Specific niche, yeah. A good term for the, I mean, it's in a really specific niche, so like only a certain audience of people will buy the series over and over and over again, you know, like, and these are usually the hardcore people, like the people who know how to play fighting games. And the casual scene is kind of like, you know, going away from fighting games, because like there are more entertaining games out there, you know. It's like and some of the games are not casual friendly, like Tekken. Tekken's not very casual friendly, so yeah, that's why Tekken Revolution has Eliza, whatever. So, you know, it's like Namco doesn't have a lot of money, so probably development takes them pretty slow. I mean, Soul Calibur 5, I don't think made a lot of money. I think Tekken Tag 2 made a good deal of money, but I don't think Soul Calibur 5 made a lot of money. It wasn't very well advertised, I think. Who was the get? They don't. Do they even have it? Oh, that's Ezio, right? But even though I don't think that game make a lot. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't look at the statistics. This is what I'm guessing. I mean, that's why they made like Soul Calibur Legends thing or whatever it was, the single player thing. They're you know, the fighting game community, like, you know, like they're the true community of the game. I want to say, like, they're the ones who figure out all the tech. They're the ones who love the game. They're the ones who play it until, like, you know, they've played it out and they've done everything in it, and they've played out like every single scenario against their friends or whatever. But like, that's not where the money is. The money's in the casual audience, the people who will buy it, play it for like a week, and then don't play it again. They're not really looking for like longevity. Like, they are at the same time, like, they would like longevity, but at the same time, like, they want to make it a really, really appealing game first, because not because of mechanics, but because it looks cool and it's fun to play. So yeah, that's why I don't think Tekken X, we're not gonna hear a lot about Tekken X Street Fighter until a while. I heard they're talking more and more about it, but I don't think they have anything solid. Not yet. Okay. Those two questions took me like, that was like that was like two questions in one though. It took me like 10 minutes to answer that. Let me just hurry up here before this gets way too long. Okay, so this guy asked me, what race am I? Okay, well, I could like link two questions here. Like, okay, where am I from? Okay, without giving you my straight address so that you people can stalk me. I'm from New Jersey, which is one of the original 13 colonies of the United States of America on the East Coast. I'm Filipino, with very small portion Chinese and very small portion Spanish. There you go. There you go. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. I've lived in New Jersey my whole life. Born here, raised here, New Jersey. It's not that bad. It's nice. Some parts are nice. It's a nice state, you know. For the most part, it's a nice state. Don't believe what MTV would tell you. And yeah, we do have people pump our own gas, and it's all right. They don't mean nothing. They don't mean no harm. They don't mean nothing. Okay, another question is, this guy asked me, do you prefer martial law or forest law? He didn't specify whether he meant gameplay or like story, but I prefer martial law because he's like the original Law, you know. He's been there since Tekken 1. Forrest is only there in Tekken 3 when they tried to replace him with Forrest, but then they said, well, actually, you know, we don't like that idea, so let's just bring Marshall back, and then he's back. And then I didn't like what they did with Forrest in Tekken 5 and Tekken Tag 2, and they made him into kind of like an immature 28-year-old. So like, I'm not really a fan at all what they did with Law's story after Tekken 4. I'm really not a fan. They turned him in from like he was like a tragic character, and they turned him into like a greedy, nothing ever goes right for him, get quick rich scheme kind of guy, and I didn't really like that. But I like Marshall over Forrest because I like better, because Marshall's just cooler because he has a mustache. And Forrest, the personality change he got was just like, I don't like it at all. I mean, he didn't really have a personality in Tekken 3, so you can't really say anything about that. But yeah, I didn't like the way they took Forrest in Tekken Tag 2. And gameplay-wise, I like Marshall because he's the better character, because Forrest is like an incomplete Marshall. Because the only thing Forrest has is that the fact that his 4-3 silent spin kick ends with a mid, and if you've been trained to duck against Marshall's silent spin kicks, then you're gonna get hit by that too. But that's just saying that, like, oh, Marshall's a better character kind of thing. And he has those feints, but that's like the only thing he has. Like, a lot of his unique stuff is pretty crap, except for like back 1-2-1 and like standard down 2-3. But yeah, it's like, you know, Marshall's just the better character. I like playing him more. Although I like Forrest's voice better in Tekken Tag 2, because he sounds more like Bruce Lee, but then again, he sounds more like a Bruce Lee impersonator when Marshall sounds like he like sounds like Bruce Lee, but he's not trying to impersonate Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? It's like he's similar, but Force kind of sounds forced. Force sounds forced. See, I made it funny. Whatever. So yeah, I prefer Marshall. Oh, my notes just went. I have my notes on my phone about this, and that like keeps going black screen. Okay, another guy, one of my consistent commenters. Thank you. He asked, "How come we don't see a lot of ranked games anymore?" Swallow nothing. I just swallowed up nothing. Yeah, how come we don't see any more ranked games? Well, it's because, as soon as I can clear my throat. Hold on a sec. There we go. Okay. So, well, this is like part of a bigger rant that I made a whole video for, but then I realized I didn't like it, so I deleted it. But, basically, I'm really tired of, like, lag. And online, you know, it's like, I enjoy Tekken, but I don't enjoy it enough to the point where I want to subject myself to situations where, like, you see something online and then you can't block it because of lag input, or you drop combos because of lag, or, you know, like, you see mix-up and then you do the right block, but then it doesn't happen because of lag. Like, I mean, you know, it's just, I'm salty about lag, you know, it's like, I know ranked doesn't really matter, but it feels like it does. Like, you know, logic tells me that it doesn't, because it really doesn't. I mean, like, okay, well, you know, there's someone who's true Tekken god, but what's his name, Nin, or what's his name, what's his name again? I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Hyunjin Kim, let's just say that. Yeah, you know, I'll just call him by his real name. He's not a true Tekken god, I think, on any of his characters, but you know, that doesn't mean he's the worst. He's less than that true Tekken god player, because ranked online doesn't mean crap. There are plenty of boosters, and you know, it's why am I forgetting his name? I can't remember. I'm forgetting Hyunjin Kim's call sign. If you don't know who Hyunjin Kim is, the guy who wins all the tournaments is the Korean Heihachi Armor King player. Also Heihachi Kazuya and Heihachi Dragunov? Or is it Dragunov Armor King? Dragunov Armor King, I think. Yeah. I remember Nim, and I remember Help Me, but I don't remember his name. I don't know. Oh, JDCR, that's why. There you go, JDCR, right. Okay, so yeah, I'm just, you know, I don't want to stress myself with ranked. It's like, oh, you know, I might get demoted. You know, oh my god, people are gonna think that I suck because I'm demoted. I don't want to have like that pressure, even though it's like, oh well, no one cares what your rank is. Yeah, no one cares, but it feels like they do. You know, it just feels, because that's just like the competitive aspect of me. You know, it's like, because I'm naturally a little bit competitive, so like when I lose, is like that guy won, but he was like, he sucks, and it's like lag, and it's like, oh man, that guy stinks, he doesn't deserve to win. It's like, oh well, it's online, you should expect this to happen. It's like, yeah, I know, but it doesn't change the way I feel about losing. So that's why I'm more going into player matches, because for some reason player matches seem to have a lot more consistently better players, and a lot more consistent, better connection. There's no real science for that, but the fact that I don't gotta worry about rank really gives me, you know, relieves me, you know, because like, I don't really perform well when I'm nervous, or not really nervous. Well, of course, no one performs well when they're nervous, but like, when there's pressure, you know? Except when I'm doing homework, that's a different story though. But yeah, you know, that's why I'm not playing a lot of ranked, because I don't want to have my rank on the line. If I play without my rank on the line, nothing to worry about, I think I perform better. Yeah, I perform better. And I enjoy the game more, because when I play ranked, I'm like not enjoying the game. So when I play player match, I'm like, hey, fun times. Okay. Another guy asked me, what other characters do you like in Tekken, and are you gonna play any of them on team? Okay, so let me list all the characters I like. I like Law, I like Lei, I like Yoshimitsu, I like Fang, I like Paul, kind of. I like Kunimitsu. I'm forgetting someone. I like Xiaoyu or Ling. Let's call it Ling. And I like the Rolex guys. But those are like the only guys I think that I like. I kind of like playing weird characters mostly. I don't really like playing straight up regular characters. Oh, I like Leo, but I don't know. I don't play her that much. I don't know why I really don't play her, because like I really like her. I think she's really good, but I don't know why I don't play her. I really don't know why I don't play her. I like her outfit and stuff. And I like her character. I don't know. I just don't play. I don't know why I don't play her. I probably should play her more, because like, I remember spent so much time trying to learn her combos, and I did. And I played her for a little bit, as you can see in some of my videos, but I'm like, I don't know why I don't play her more. I like Steve too, but Steve's really hard, so I don't really play him that much, because Steve's just, I gave up on trying to do freaking duck cancels. Like, that stuff's way too much for me. I like Asuka, but she's like, I don't know, she's weird. She's more of a defensive character, and I like characters that have options to both be offensive and defensive. And I don't know, she's got a lot of weird strings. She's kind of slow too. I just don't like her play style in general. I like Miguel, but I haven't taken the time to learn him because he has a lot of strings, and I don't really have the time to learn that. Well, I do have the time now, but I'm like too lazy to learn the strings. I like Paul, like I mentioned, but I don't know how to play him that well. I know how to do Death Fist. I mean, not Death. I know how to do Demo Man a little bit. There's a trick. There's a secret to it. I don't know if I like Brian that much. Huarang's okay, I guess. I can't really say I like a lot of people. I guess like everybody that I play now is kind of like everybody I like to play. Everybody I like in Tekken already. I guess I like Dawn, but he's not in the game anymore. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, I guess I would like Wang too, but once again, I don't really like his playstyle. He's alright. I never liked Lee, although I guess I can say I probably would like his playstyle, because he's a lot like Law, but like a lot better. I don't really like the Bears. Am I forgetting someone? I'm probably forgetting, so I don't really like Raven either. Wesley Snipes. I don't like Dragunov. Yeah, I guess Lars and Elisa. I don't like either of those guys. They're like anime as hell. Too much anime. Anyways, I know Tekken's got some anime things, but those guys are way too anime. If that's even like that's like a thing. I don't like the Jax. Never really liked the Jax much. Dr. B's cool, but he's a shitty character, so. Yeah, I like Ogre. Yeah, I like True Ogre. I think he's really cool. But I kind of like Unknown too. But you know, once again, I don't really feel like playing those characters. But I like those characters, but I don't play them. Like, okay, you know, the one thing is like another guy asked me, is like, hey, how come we don't see? It's like leading to another question. It's like, hey, how come we don't see other characters? It's because like, I don't know about you, but knowing how to play a lot of different characters to the extent that I know how to play Marshall and Lei is difficult if you do other things besides Tekken, because, well, for one thing, everyone has different generic tools for different inputs, and everyone has different combos, and everyone has different tag combos, and everyone has different strings, and everyone has different mix-ups, and everyone has different stuff. It's, you know, every character in Tekken has like a bunch of depth to them, for the most part. I think, except Mishimas, because Mishimas are like really straightforward because they're tools that the only tools you need to use are like 6 tools, like electric, hell sweep, mid poke, low poke, and like wave dash, whatever, you know, like there's not a lot of tools you need to use with Mishimas to be really super amazing with them. So yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, because like it just gets confusing because like, well, Fang doesn't have a down 4-2, but I always launch punish with down 4-2. So when I'm playing Fang, I try to down 4-2 punish for 15 frames, and I get like that weird push string that's not 15 frames, so it gets blocked. And then you know, I'm playing Yoshimitsu, and then I know his hotkick is up 4-3, and then I go back to playing Lei, and then I think his hotkick is up 4-3, so I press up 4-3, and I get, well, that's kind of a bad example. Like, okay, Law, yeah. I do it with Law, I get a 4-3, I get fake flip instead of a hotkick. Like, it gets confusing. For me, anyways, it gets confusing to go, you know, hold all that character information within my head, you know, so it's confusing, and I don't really want to deal with it, and I don't really want to play other characters that much because I enjoy Lei and Law so much. I'm saying I enjoy Lei more. I thought for a while about dropping Law for someone, but I'm like, okay, you know, Law's fine. It's just, you know, I don't like his playstyle. Sometimes I feel like Law is really limited, but that's a talk for another time. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like, just, I don't want to deal with like all those moves in my head, and I prefer to stick to like 2 characters that I know. You know, it's like Bruce Lee says, I fear the man who has practiced 1 kick 1,000 times over the guy who practiced 1,000 kicks once. You know, it's like quality over quantity. Another guy asked me, how are you so good? I don't think I'm that great. I think I'm like above average. Like, if I were to rate my player, I'd be like a 7.9. Maybe an 8 if I'm feeling generous, an 8 out of 10. You know, on like the world scale. Like, if JDCR is 10 and like Fighting GM is like 9.4, then I'm like an 8, probably. Yeah, I'm like an 8, I guess. Yeah, because I don't know all the characters, really. Like, I don't fight a lot of Jacks because almost nobody plays Jacks well. But the people who do, they always fuck me up. And Kazamas, I hate Kazamas. I hate Changs. I hate Zafina. I hate Raven, kind of. I used to hate Dragunov, but now I kind of know how to deal with him. But he's a really good footsie character. Yeah, and I hate, what's that other character? I hate Capos. Like, I can't deal with everybody. I hate Nina. So I'm not that amazed. But you know, like, hey, that's part of the question. Point of the question is how my 8 out of 10 was. Like, I just put a lot of time in the game. Like, if you just see my, you know, my win percentage, it's like 50%. But let me tell you, that win percentage used to be like 25, like 22%, and I brought that back up to 50% through like thousands of games, like 2,000, like 4,000 games, something like that. Because there's a lot of hard work, you know, constantly playing the game, practice, training mode, trial and error, just putting time and effort into the game, you know? Time and effort. That's all it is. Time and effort and practice, you know? Just, you got determination, you get better. It's like all things in life. You just, you know, you put your mind to it, you get better at it. But people want to like know specifically is like, how'd you get so good at DSS? That's once again just trial and error. It's just like one training mode and just like practice DSS for like 2 hours, something like that. You know, like just doing wall standing 4, forward 4-2, fall standing 4, wall standing 4 with 4-4-2, wall standing 4, forward 2-2. And like Lei is like, how are you so creative with your mix of how do you know to bait people? Well, first with Lei, you have to learn all his moves, and then all the transitions and all the options that you have, and you gotta really be aware of how much your opponent knows Lei and how afraid of they are, and it's a lot of waging. That's what makes part of what makes Lei so difficult. It's a lot of like mind gaming stuff and a lot of like, how can I crush this move, or like how can I really confuse my opponent, you know, like all the tools that you have, and you gotta stop yourself from being so formulative, you know, like doing the same shit over and over again. Or you play the classic, like the standard character kind of Lei, like just, you know, like keep away Lei, which kind of works, but it's not really block punishing. It's more of a whiff punish kind of character than a block punish. Yeah, I mean, well, when I was in Soul Calibur, I think I've told this many times before, when I was in Soul Calibur, when I used to play Soul Calibur competitively, what is it? What did I do? Oh yeah, I played Siegfried. I made Siegfried. And in Soul Calibur 3 and 4, as opposed to Soul Calibur 2, Siegfried was more of a mix-up kind of character. In Soul Calibur 5, he's kind of a mix-up character. And he had 4 stances, and they had transitions, and I got used to playing characters with stances. So when I moved to Lei, it was kind of just like natural for me to get into the mood of a stance character like Lei, although it still took me a while to understand, you know, all the moves and everything, because he has a lot more moves than Siegfried ever did, and even then Siegfried had his useless moves, and Siegfried has a much smaller move list than Lei, so playing Lei for me was like playing Siegfried, but like on a larger, like super much larger scale, pretty much, and that's how I got good with Lei. I mean, just like, think about everything that you have in your arsenal, and how can you use that? You know, it's like, what can you do? I guess that's the best thing I can say about it, is the what can you do? You know, it's like, okay, start around, how many mix-ups does Lei have starting? Okay, he's down 4, then run away, and then he has play dead into a whiff punish, and then he has a back 4, like counter almost every single kind of attack on Lei in the beginning, or he has up 4 3+4, or he's like crane attack, or you know, like sidestep, or just block, or whatever, you know, like Lei has a lot of options. And like Razor Rush, like delay Razor Rush, or like, you know, whatever, like, I don't have to explain this, so much stuff, he's just so much stuff, you know, so much stuff, like, just, once you have a grasp of everything that Lei does, it's a lot easier to play him, I think, because his combos are pretty easy, I think. Okay, fine. The last question is, are we gonna see more video comparisons? Like, you know, the things that my channel is most famous for, the Bruce Lee, the Jackie Chan, the Maxi, Lei Wulong, martial law stuff. I have one more question after this, but yeah. When are we gonna see more of that? Well, okay, I've been planning it for a very long time, like super long time, but I never had the chance to do it. But I can tell you that a certain character has already, the research has been done, it's just the footage is waiting to be recorded. So that's good news. You'll see it in the coming days. You'll see in the coming days. And the last thing is, okay, I actually have one more question after that. It's, oh, before I finish that question, somebody asked me if I was gonna do one for King, and I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I could definitely see that working. But the thing is with King is, like, I don't know much about wrestling, so I would need someone to point me in the right direction of wrestling moves, and like where these moves originate, or who's famous for these moves. That would be great if someone could point me in that direction, because I know some of my subscribers are really like wrestling fans. So you guys could show me, that'd be cool. I'll give you a +1. I'll follow you on Twitter. Yeah. Okay, one more question is, like, why don't you do a combo video for Lei and Law? I was, like, kind of bouncing around the idea. I was like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I was like, the reason I don't want to is because, like, well, if you want to learn my combos, just watch my gameplay vids. It's kind of like all the standard combos, really, but just, like, the tag fillers in there. I mean, I have a couple setups, but at the same time, do you really want to show your setups to the world? I guess it doesn't really matter, because I don't really figure myself as a super hardcore competitive person. So, yeah, maybe I will one day. I mean, I guess people are not gonna watch the gameplay video just to copy the combos. I did one combo video, but that was more like flashy combos than it was practical combos. So yeah, I guess I will do it at some point. Just for the hell of it, because I know Hurtbox does those combo videos, and I'm like, yeah, okay, he does those. I don't do them because I think if you just play this game, I think the combos are pretty easy to figure out. But I maybe for some people it's not. So I guess I'll do that. I'll do that one day. Wow, you know, I talk way too much, like 30 minutes already. I plan this to be a 20-minute video, and I'm like 15 minutes overhead. So yeah, I think that's a good amount of questions answered. Yeah, there's a good amount of questions answered. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have more questions, just send them my way, and we'll do another one of these videos, probably. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Prepare for too spicy. I'll see you guys later. See ya.